So the idea is to graft the tomato onto the potato. I bought some grafting tape. I've used grafting tape before, but this is really a poor type of grafting tape. It's too thick. Unless you're doing trees, it's not going to hold on. So I'm very disappointed with that. I thought of using some plumber's tape, and this one is too thin. It's a bit like the story of the three bears. And I've finally got some pink plumber's tape, which I think will do the job admirably. So to start with, I'm going to we'll go for this little tomato, remove part of it, take off some of the leaves, and then I will put a cut in here. I'm just going for a simple graft on this one, if I can cut this without too much damage. So just a little V graft. And on this one, the potato. Now this potato and that tomato we grew from seeds, both of them. So we've done a V on there, so on this one I need to cut from the bottom up into the middle. Looks pretty good. And then we slip that on. And then I will try and graft this on. This is the tricky part of this little operation. It's just a shame that we can't get the grafting tape that I used to have years ago. Anyway, so we will persevere. I'm just using a cable tie in this particular instance, just to hold that tape in. And then I'll duplicate this a few times over with a few other potatoes, and we'll see how we go. So tomato on top, potato underneath. Let's see how it goes. Before I'd mentioned that we were grafting tomatoes onto potatoes, and here's one little graft that it has taken. So we've got a potato bottom and a tomato top. I had done quite a few, but we had a hot stretch and it knocked most of them on the head, so I've grafted a few others and we'll just wait and see what happens. Potato harvest hasn't been so good, in fact rather disappointing. But I looked at YouTube and they mentioned about putting straw and prolific yields, but I can tell even before we go digging that that's not going to happen, unfortunately. But we'll make the best out of it that we possibly can. I had dug up one row here and decided to start off some butternut type pumpkin. I'm not sure if I'm going to let the four of them grow or not, but anyway, I'll dig up some potatoes and we'll have a look. Okay. So this is our third fruiting from our bananas. It's only a small patch. We've got some sweet potato down below, and I've put a bit of mulch in here, as you can see, and just around that's sort of the potatoes, the sweet potato and the banana, but we're looking forward to a nice little harvest on this one. The soil might be a bit dry, and we will tell you what the latitude is. The latitude is very low for growing bananas, but anyway, we're very happy. Potato we put in the 60-litre drum. Unfortunately, it was attacked by possums. And one of the things that seems to happen after they've been attacked, they tend to get a disease. It's not from being dry, It just seems to be a thing with possums and potatoes. And another little bit of bad news just over here. So this tomato sprung up by itself, and I decided to encourage it to grow and watered it, but the lizards that we have stripped them all off. The lizards are about this long and they can climb, but we've still got other tomatoes that are still growing, and I'll probably attach it in the end up to the gutter just there. Let it grow up and over.
Our bean was starting to look a bit sad and we couldn't figure out why, because we'd watered it. But we came out here and found that it had been ring-barked, just there. Either by slugs or by the skink that lives in here. Really sad because it was growing so nicely. A quick update on our garden. The apples are growing nicely. The beetroot are doing really well. I've eaten some of them already. In the back there's some more beans, which I think will do better once we get all the beetroot out. And there's a cucumber plant, but our cucumbers just aren't doing much at the moment. Let's harvest our onions because they've went to flower. Basil's doing terrific. This week I'll be picking this and making pesto sauce. Another cucumber plant. The carrots are growing nicely. More cucumbers up there. And at the back the rhubarb and capsicum and another cucumber and a Chinese gooseberry. Still waiting on all of those. These tomatoes are doing lovely. A lot of flowers. Hopefully they won't be taken by the lizards. Figs are just starting to form. I don't know if you can see them, tiny little figs there. I'm doing this really quickly because the mozzies are dreadful. Beans, more beans. Tomatoes are just starting on this one. This was a heritage one that Bill bought. We've been eating some of these carrots already. And there's some capsicums on that. These are the 2 mulberry trees that we, if you've watched our other videos, you would have seen that they were one big one that wasn't giving us much in the way of fruit. So Bill pulled it out and now we've got 2. This is our blueberry. We had little birds in here yesterday, so they've had a good feed on the blueberries. This one's still doing well. This one's finished and been pruned, and the others are still giving us fruit as well, and the bees love them. Down here there's another tomato, came up by itself. Sweet potato. The asparagus is all finished now and going to fern. We popped in some marigolds to attract more bees. And here again, more tomatoes and more cucumbers for summer salads, as long as the cucumbers grow. And these onions aren't too bad. Some of them are just about done. And more cucumbers. It's a unicorn apple tree, which is growing nicely. And this lime tree was what Bill took from a cutting from our one in the citrus garden, and it's doing lovely. There's some limes in there growing. Don't know if you can see them. Oh, there it is. And in there. And I'm being attacked by mozzies, so I've got to get out of here. And in the greenhouse, the monsteras come back to life nicely. The dragon fruit that we'd hoped would give us some fruit hasn't yet. Don't know how big it has to get before we get fruit from it. If any of you know, please let us know in the comments below. and sweet potato, pineapple, and we're not sure what that was. It was a seed from microgreens, and we don't have the packet anymore. Always keep the packets. And the pineapple is doing really well. We're hoping it'd be ready for Christmas, but not sure about that. Capsicum that's in its second year, we pruned it back and it's giving us nice capsicums. We've just got to always check it for slugs because they seem to get in there and love it. And the citrus garden, as it was, has now become a bit overcrowded with all sorts of things. It's doing really well. Finger lime is flowering. That's good. We have one cherry on our cherry tree. Let's find it. There it is. On that cherry tree anyway. This is dwarf mandarin. It did get some fruit on it, but I don't know that they're going to stay. That one's going yellow. Our nectarine though is doing beautifully. It's full of fruit. It's a dwarf nectarine tree. We've had some strawberries from our strawberry plants, but they've slowed down for some reason. And this is the lime tree that the original one that the other one came from. We've put some carrots and strawberries and marigolds in this bath. This is a dwarf orange, and we've got oranges on there, which is really nice for the first time. We had rock melon in here last year, so we assume this is what this one is. It's come up by itself. And this is a zucchini. There's an avocado grown from seed over there. And we've got one more cherry coming on.